wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons, the Transformers. The Transformers. More than beastly the Transformers.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting edition of Transformers Reviews. Today, guys, we're looking at what they call the Galaxy Upgrade Optimus Prime, which, if you guys are fans or have just ever seen any of the Cybertron, Transformers Cybertron, you'll know this figure is meant basically to homage that. Now, before I give you my thoughts, let's look over some of the technical details on this figure. One of the things everybody kind of talks about is these right here. Is in robot mode, on the other side, they're painted to represent wheels, whereas obviously on this side, there's nothing. I mean, these do not look like these, obviously. So I think that personally, they should have flipped that. That would have been perfect. Now, one thing back here is what becomes his robot mode legs is they have some, they have some weird ways that they go ahead and connect to the rest of this back section of the vehicle mode. And so if once you get that though, you can get all the wheels to roll. And I mean, overall, it's proving to be quite a fun overall vehicle mode, despite the fact that I was not a fan of the original version. This is what he looks like next to Iron Cog, which, my goodness, that is a lot of red and blue on both of these guys. But you know what? If he was an artillery truck, the cogged out Ironhide right here, it goes. However, what if you wanted to go ahead and put him with, say, like a Cybertron figure? Well, here is Optimus with Sky Shadow. And these guys, being the bulky leaders that they are, I love it because despite how many years there are between when these came out, they look like they should go together despite him having the siege detailing. So that's awesome that it can cross over between lines. So here we are in his robot mode, and does he not look cool, guys? Now obviously this permeation of his robot mode is meant to more mimic Generation 1, because we've seen this before. This is actually, it's a remold of Ultra Magnus. The only things that they have changed are the crotch plate, the actual obvious torso section, and what was his front bumper that's now on his back. Now, the one thing that I have against it is it does kind of feel really bulky in his torso, and I wish it was a little bit more proportioned, but here in a second I'll show you how that's fixed. Now, one of the other things that is really awesome about this figure is you see that he's sporting both guns. Now, unlike Ultra Magnus, this Optimus can actually use the Black Blaster in this mode, and it doesn't look silly like it did with Magnus. For whatever reason, I'm not sure. So let's go ahead and take a look at the second option you have for his primary robot mode. So here is OP in his Cybertron look. And I gotta say, guys, like I mentioned earlier, this second option, it fixes the problems from the first option. And basically all we've done is we took the mask that was on his back, transferred it to his arms, and added the pseudo cab armor pieces up here. And you know what? It does put his whole robot mode in proportion. Next, here he is with his prior release. There he is with those guys. And just for fun, we'll drop in the actual Cybertron star screen back here. And so you can kind of see how he stacks up and versus off against all these guys. But let's get to his best looking robot mode, which is his super mode. Okay, let's not lie. This is why everybody buys this figure, is this mode right here. And I'm gonna say it, this is my absolute favorite robot mode of any of the current Siege line. But see, what this Siege version of Galaxy Optimus does is it fixes all of the issues that the original Optimus Prime figure actually had. And it simplifies and refines, much like they did with the previous Optimal Optimus. Now, one of the things that I always did like on this Optimus was his Super Robot Mode's head. That just looks really cool. It makes him look meaner, and it just gives him that little bit of flair. So yeah, I mean, definitely he ultimately is my favorite from the Siege line. But to kind of show him off with some comparisons before we go, here he is again with the actual Cybertron Starscream. And you see that he's actually a little bit taller now that he's in Super Robot mode, as opposed to how he was a tad bit shorter before. And with another Siege figure, here he is with Sound Shock, just to kind of show him off with that. However, guys, that has been the review of Transformers Galaxy Upgrade Optimus Prime. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And until next time, guys, we'll see you in another review.